Alright guys, welcome back to part 10 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. In the last episode, the chief prosecutor is being framed for murder, I believe. She is pleading guilty, and we learned that she called her sister right at the time of the murder. So, I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time. Let's just jump into the video. Well, what do we got next? Oh, we're at the courtroom. Right, because we don't have no fucking evidence. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me. No matter what the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Guy, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. Okay. I think you're fucked, homegirl. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. Damn, she bad, bro. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Bump. 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 February 23rd. All right. Court is now in session for the trial of Ms. Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. I don't know. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I don't know. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment is to be made here, in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. Suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen? Why is her name the cough-up queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh ho, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me, the name's Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. Huh? What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen, Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. Okay. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. And a chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutor spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with his knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans. Okay. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright, I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your words, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Witness's account. Witness's testimony. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there's no room for doubt. The key point of your witness testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross the witness. Okay. I'm just gonna press on everything, bro. Fuck it. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim, killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I am a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps... Okay. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder. It felt like, how would you say... Oh yes, it was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard yellowed and sharp as a tack. Yes, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, they're in the lot. I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And then the person you saw, you are sure was the defendant. I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with the camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Moment of the crime, photographed by Angel Starr. Crime photo added. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Tell me more about the knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well-versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. What? You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? She says she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into the detective's chest. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Mrs. Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Okay. There's so much evidence. Through this, she saw the stabbing. Okay. Objection?
Objection!
And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear on it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection? That happened to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet, it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing.
Objection!
And how can you tell that? Blood spatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take this kind of abuse? You got a better idea? I don't think there's anything else we can object to. Fuck it. Wait, that contradicts what the testimony said in her witness. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it. If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Ah! These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves?
Objection!
The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one could make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Ah! Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking that this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a fresh wound, Miss Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we have to do? Let's together. Let's just keep our heads going. Got it. Don't smile like that. Okay, we already talked about that. Murder was planned. If it was planned, why would she leave this? Can I name a deceased? Bruce Goodman, date and time, February between 4 and 5. Causative loss of blood from chest wound. Assessment, the wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. Okay. trying to get her to recycle. Somehow I knew this day like this. I was on my way to deliver lunch to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finally home detective intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw a chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The murder was planned. The rubber gloves prove it. I'm gonna do this.
Objection!
Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. Bro, if he was premeditated, what's with this case? The bloody murder. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are you prosecutors bad people? Are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing these special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Yeah, the murder weapon was fucking Edgeworth. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. How did she know? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the murder weapon. Order! 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 Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right? I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail, but this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't... Oh, I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? She's kind of bad, bro. My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Alright. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. You're lying. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross the witness. You lied at the end here. There was only one stab wound. I object.
Objection!
You said she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. Don't let Chris see that. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. He's my hero, really. I fucking objected! Well, witness, you've got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I've always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Yeah, bro. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. What?
Hold it!
Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck, so she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Yeah, okay, the scarf. That's what it is. Miss Skye was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like a kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. What the fuck? Luna Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman. Let's just press on the things. You said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Try not to interrupt her again, rookie. Never interrupt a storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something's half-baked here, all right, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. She didn't. Oh, well, I mean, she may have. Let's press her on this. You have no proof that Miss Sky called them there. You have no proof that she didn't. Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts? There is no record of a call made on the defendant's, Miss Lana Sky's, cell phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on, you could have tried public phone first at least. In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness, why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Why? What kind of grudge? Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See, we agree there's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels, don't you agree? I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. This judge isn't very good with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple. Her red muff... Bitch, what? Was she wearing the scarf in the picture? She's not wearing the fucking scarf in the picture!
Objection!
She's not wearing it, bro! Miss Starr demanded... The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Yeah, bro, like, very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part, the part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Okay. I'm kind of cooking. I'm kind of locked in. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in the earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile. How did you make it on the other side of the fucking thing? You're quite determined about the scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is kind of a snake. Don't bother with the details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright, if you're cross. How the fuck did you make it on the other side? After the murder witness, I attempted to run partition. I quickly caught her, explaining, like, how? Can I press you on this? You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her. Yeah, because there's a partition there. I'd like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. You were in B. The Lunchland car was here, and there's a fence. She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing. The cough of queen, lunch lady athlete, indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. She couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. I don't even think you can climb it. Oh, I guess you can. That fence was about 9 feet high, too. How did Miss Sky not get away? Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. The muffler?
Hold it!
She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word. So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... Yeah, ask further. By phone, do you mean the cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. And no, the court doesn't see, Miss Starr. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing. Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The thing I do to please this rookie defense attorney. The word muffler was overheard during a call made at Emma at 5:18. Okay. I saw it all. How she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. I don't know if pressing here is going to do anything. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha, I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. You climbed the fence fast as fuck in heels, and during that, you climbed over the chain link fence. And you grabbed her. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star resistance is futile. I mean, I'm just gonna press this again. She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pate of foie gras. Huh? She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum. There was an oil drum lying on the side at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The other? Yeah, the drum was knocked out to the right. Parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Guy tried to run. I'm sorry. My sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it. You have to believe me. Trying to think, bro. Like, I think I've pressed her on everything already. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. I saw it all. How she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star resistance is futile. I quickly caught her, and yes, I saw it all how she tried the phone on the wall. How did you see her try the phone on the wall if she was behind this partition and you were here? Right? I'm not tweaking.
Objection!
Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. Yeah, if you were over here from to this point, however, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Guy making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the backside of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Well, yeah, bitch! Punk-ass bitch! Order, order! What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies!
Objection!
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie the witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... the order of the events? Where she saw? This guy tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Starr to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Guy using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Starr witnessed the crime from a different location.
Objection!
A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one.
Objection!
Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place for where Miss Star witnessed the crime is fucking here. If she was here, she could see the emergency phone. That's true. That solves the mystery.
Objection!
That would allow her to see the emergency phone, yes. But if she was there, she would have been able to arrest her well before she dialed her cell phone. Oh, you doubt my speed? I can run 150 feet in 9 seconds, you know. Is that really that fast? Not as fast as your witty rejoinders. Yes, Your Honor. All the testimony we've heard until now, the place from where Miss Crime... I mean... I could slide it over here. But... She must have been in the security room fucking...
Take that!
I think. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot, is well positioned. It's built on the second floor, so you can see the entire lot. She could have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. She was fucking her boyfriend. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned, today a man has got the better of Angel Star. Yeah, bitch. Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty... Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh. She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands.
Objection!
It still stands. I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must have a vital difference, but what would change? The distance to the crime? Angle? It must make a vital difference, but what would change? How would she take that fucking picture? Angle of view to the crime. Why? The angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and she could have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. And this is important. Why? Okay. Reconsider. I'm going to save. I'm going to save. Because I got fucked before, and I don't want to do the entire trial again. Okay. It's not... Ah, shit. I didn't mean to... It's a difference in lighting. Lighting, what does that mean? Well, it means, see the security guard station on the second level, so this is important. Why? I didn't mean to click that. I'm gonna keep it such a band with you. I didn't mean to fucking click that. Alright. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. I'll be back. Okay. It was the distance of the crime. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. Bitch, who took the picture? What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Star, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness, you. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And you ran around the other side, and before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Oh. Nah, mamas! And then what? And then you climbed it, took a pic. That's why I had to go through the visitor's parking lot in B block. That's quite a detour. Nah, bro, you're the Flash? This probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes? Nah, bro, this bitch is lying. This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on the finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Yeah!
Objection!
5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time if you like it al dente. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank? Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey, don't get the wrong idea, but you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. Miss Guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah! Yeah, bro, like, what the fuck? Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated the witness on account of her professional history. We did it. We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. That was too close. We did pretty well. We fucked up on one part. I'm afraid that the cop-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, the court is adjourned. Yeah, get that bitch out of here. Aw, fuck. Who said hold it? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask you, Miss Star. Ah. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Whoa, a triple-decker. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? Bro, the judge is just she just bribed the judge! I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe, did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. This shoe proves it. It's a flawless, decisive evidence. Okay. What? There was a blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Okay. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Ah. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that guilty are properly judged. Victim's shoe. White enamel shoe bear traces of blood from Goodman and Lana Sky. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross. Can I examine this shoe? Can I take a look at this? Ah, there's blood here too, on the sole of the shoe. It's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. But it's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. Okay, so this is the victim's blood, right? There's blood here too on the sole of the shoe. It's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood is horrible. The blood might be an important clue. Okay. Those don't look like white shoes. Okay, I'm gonna press her here. Why did you lie about those 5 minutes? I guess you could say I just wanted people to look at the results. The results? How many times do I have to say this? I saw the chief prosecutor stab the victim before my very own eyes. Compared to that 5-minute blank means nothing. Then why didn't you just tell the truth? Don't make me laugh. We're dealing with the most unworthy of the vile lot known as prosecutors. Falsified evidence, arranged testimonies, erasing and manipulating evidence. When you fight monsters, do you need to use every trick in every book? When the suspect is admitting she did it. But false testimony is the most despicable crime of all, Miss Starr. Let's just get this over with. Now the victim of the matter. What's up? And you found this shoe at the scene of the crime. I detained the chief prosecutor and notified the police department. I wanted to make myself useful while I was waiting for the police to arrive. So, like an ill-trained pooch, you snuck off with the shoe. I was afraid someone would erase the chief prosecutor's crime. This shoe was my secret weapon if that should happen. See this fashionable basket I have here? It carries more than lunchboxes, gentlemen. I'm happy for you and your lunchbox bag, really. In any case, you removed valuable evidence from the scene of the crime. Now tell us what you did next. 2 types of blood were on the shoe, one of course was the victims. So, you brought it to the forensics department. If you were going to submit something as evidence in court, you needed a proof. To do that, evidence must be analyzed by forensics experts, and she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe appears to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. Defendant, Lana Sky. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about blood tests, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up. Well, blood comes in 4 types, A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. What? That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone but Miss Lana Skies. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. I was afraid he was going to say that. Okay. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your clients. She's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. There's a problem. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence, a clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes, you're still young, rookie. I give you a peppered fish gut now, but you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what you have, Mr. Wright. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with the evidence. It's white! It's a white shoe. The problem with the evidence is here. Where? Take that finger and point it at your own head, Mr. Wright. And now I'm dead. The shoe is white, dog! Oh my god! Okay. Alright, boys. I'll be back. I'll be back. I should have saved. I'll be back. Okay, boys. I made it back. I'm gonna assume the blood? The bottom blood? I wonder if you notice there's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie, or it'll be blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood on the bottom of this shoe? There was only one stab wound. Oh, shit. Okay, I thought I presented it, bro. I started to panic. Is it this one? There's no blood there. Yeah, there's no blood there, right? I swear those are black shoes. Because this looks like white. Okay. I think it's this. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint. Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha, as you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so they could have been bloody footprints.
Objection!
There's no blood there! Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Yeah, there's no blood footprints anywhere. Order! 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 Well, witness? What? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? What, she took her fucking shoes off? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There is a vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's a beautiful but deadly. A predator this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Okay. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that? I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth, though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Don't you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha, you don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and for one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Wow! Okay. I guess that ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase all the telltale signs. Wouldn't it have cleaned the blood off her shoe? Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Sky's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What can I do? Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. What? Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky. Oh. Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you had your fill, but here you are, demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else.
Objection!
The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the Kaffa Queen. Look at this. That's his shoe! A photograph? I just had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. But there's no blood! Erasing the last traces of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. Nah, bro! They're fucking lying! I'm sorry, Mia. Right. Wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. Okay. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time, I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Objection!
Objection!
Yes, sir. Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is. Can it wait? No, it can't. Then it'll be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I think later. I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph. You stabbed in the chest. What's that in the muffler? Is that water? Is that what is that in the muffler?
Take that!
I'm fucking dead. The problem is in the photograph is here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor? You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. Oh, she stuffed the muffler in the muffler! A muffler is also a part of your car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as a part of the exhaust system. A pipe. I see. And I see. Yeah, what's that suspicious-looking claw sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does this have to do with the case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's her scarf! Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much as in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us, why do you think this piece of cloth is related to the muffler? Is related, cause this, right? It's the phone? Yeah, she said muffler. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. I'm having a fucking stroke reading. Muffler. Ah, yeah. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this pipe exhaust? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh, whoa! Hello? Okay. Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered, here we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew, that was close. But we made it, at least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry? Yo, bro, he ate like 3 boxes. To be continued. Yeah, bro, the judge is pissing me the fuck off. The judge is pissing me the fuck off, bro.